Hi, this is John Wilcock, and this is the sixth of my shows about China in the fall of 2005. From the airport, huge buildings, the first thing you see. $16 million people live in this city.
To your left-hand side is the fall broke the Opium War. That was the first Opium War, and there was concession combined to each combined, and it called it international.
Frantic building all the time. At one time, it said half the cranes in China were here.
The building right over there, very, and it was a TV station. I don't know, it's a TV tower. It's called the Westing. 5-star. Opera House, and the to your left is round on the top of the round, and the bottom is the flag in front of it. That's the site, the museum center, right over there, the right one. In the old days, it's called the Sasson's house, belongs to a British Jew. And the building, okay, with the white and the pink, idea about what is the Nanjing Road. The Beach Hotel is the city bank at the bottom. This is the Classic Hotel, and he came to the 18th floor to see the bird view of Shanghai at the times. But not, this is not the tourist building in China today. So we got off the bus here. Can you bring your camera and your video with?
Of course, that's the famous Bund that we just came down with, all the old buildings dating from British occupation. So we just walked from there, we're on the way to the waterfront. So here we are by the river, and right behind him there is the International Conference Center, appropriately like a globe. That's supposedly the world's tallest TV tower. And apparently the lights at Shanghai at night are pretty sensational, so I'll presumably come back. And behind us, of course, is the Bund, which we just drove all the way down.
You have to go back to the other side of the river. The Armani building.
Now British-style telephone boxes. Well, having arrived in Shanghai, we're staying in a Radisson hotel, which is really very nice because it's sort of in a nice, peaceful area with lots of big mansions around. This is the view from my upper window. I'm on the 9th floor, and I'm now going to kind of search around. I don't quite know what I found, but I've teamed up with a couple from San Diego, really nice types, and we peeled off from the main party who went looking around a big park. It's a grey day and we've done too much walking already, so we peeled off and came to the hotel and checked in, and I'm going to meet them downstairs and we're going to set off and explore something. I don't yet know what. The Radisson's a really nice hotel. I'll show you the room. The bed's already cluttered with all my stuff. But we got up at 5 o'clock this morning to take the plane from Xi'an, and so I think after we've gone to see the lights, that'll be an early night. Strolling around in a market area, very busy. All our colleagues on this tour are going around some boring park or other, and I've seen enough of that. long walks around palaces and temples and stuff. Thousands of stalls here. Okay. Selling everything. And everybody stops you and tries to sell you a watch or a handbag.
What, 100? Ellie, you tell her how much.
Together. No, it's leather. How about you?
100.
Joking. How big size?
No, I need large. ¿Y cuánto querían? 800.
Every stall has people who grab your arm and try and sell you whatever it is they're trying to sell. Very hard to even move.
Yeah, darker than this color.
What's this?
No, that's important. No. This condom secures me a battery. Okay, how much? Muy bonita. Esta two color. Esta. Mila.
Chinese herbs. Big argument about something or other. This is in a town that in daytime seems to have far too many taxis. They're all over the place. But wait till it rains and then it seems like 16 million Shanghaians are all trying to get into a taxi at once. We've waited on the corner for at least half an hour. I've been totally unable to get one. It's raining and every single person in town seems to want a taxi. And I'm quite sure what we're going to do next. It's such a classy hotel, this. It's one of the Radisson chain. I'll show you what it looks like from the mezzanine here. But I mainly put on the camera to show that they have this trio playing in the lobby. 3 ladies playing classical music. so the best. Looking out of my hotel room window in Shanghai at the in the growing skyline, where huge buildings are going up almost daily, and where at one time half the cranes in China are supposed to be employed, maybe even today. I see that nearby somebody appears to be building a swimming pool on the top of the building. It's a big building, I don't know what it is, but it's right next to this hotel I'm living in. The papers never tire of being proud of Shanghai's building boom, which is not surprising. There's some very rich people here with a lot of money in this city. And speaking of the papers, reminds me that there's a good daily here called the Shanghai Daily. It's a tabloid. It's better than the China Daily, which is the paper that's available in Beijing. So layout is more English or more New York Post-ish than New York Times-ish. Not a bad paper, actually. I've got quite a lot of information out of it. Well, for my first trip to China, I decided to take a tour. I was a bit chary about traveling on my own in a country like this, which I didn't know anything about. And I took a tour with Ritz. I don't know if they're... I don't want to necessarily recommend them over any other. There are many tour companies. And I also, they put me on Japan Airlines, which is a great airline. Much better than I understand China Airlines, which is one of the other airlines they use. And so it was a very short trip. It was 9 days, but it was only... it was like 3 days in Beijing, Xi'an to see the warriors there, and then Shanghai, a couple of days in Shanghai, which to my surprise I found to be quite enough. I may come back, but I have to say that the tour itself is really a bargain. I feel it's a bargain. Cost me about $2,300, that's apart from Shanghai, if you could say there was a centre in such a big place. And I came here by taxi, and because she picked me up at an expensive hotel, she tried to charge me 50 yuan, when in actual fact it's 15 yuan, which is about just slightly less than $2. It's about 8 to the dollar. I guess she figures anybody who picks up an expensive hotel doesn't know the difference, but fortunately I had already been in a taxi and knew how cheap they were. There's a lot of greenery which is protected by a fence, so it's sort of mainly to look at, and some rather colourful floral arrangements. Some of the buildings are kind of interesting, overlooking the square. And then there's this relatively tiny central plaza, if you're thinking in terms of Tiananmen in Beijing, which can hold 1 million people. Relax in one way or another. But otherwise it's no big deal. I think I'll head somewhere else.